Okay. This is Full Armor here. Yesterday night, we got the announcement that Mike Perry moved to the BKFC. He got signed to the BKFC for a multi-fight contract. Now, me personally, I think this is a really good idea for Mike Perry. He is a boxing kind of guy. As a matter of fact, he was a professional boxer before he was an MMA fighter. He wasn't really the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC. And on top of that, we learned per Dana White that his contract with the UFC expired. Now, what we don't know is whether or not Perry just didn't want to renew his contract or the UFC decided to part ways with him. Now, I think considering some of the controversies and antics Perry was involved in during the past year or so, I think it's safe to say that the UFC parted ways with him. He's probably going to make better money in the BKFC due to his name and the fact that the BKFC needs stars. Sure, they have people like Hector Lombard, Joe Riggs, who are both MMA vets that competed at the highest level, but both their primes were from the mid 2000s to the early 2010s. What they need are fighters in their primes that have the name power and fans behind them. This is why BKFC brought in Paige Van Sant, Rachel Ostovich, and now Mike Perry. These three fighters in particular have the name, the fans that will tune in to watch them, and they still have some years left before they retire. While in all honesty, Riggs and Lombard and people like that are approaching the end of the road. BKFC wants these solid names to help them steer their flagship into having a solid seat in the combat sports world. And during and after this phase, and this is just what I think, during and after this phase, I see BKFC trying to cultivate some homegrown talent of their own. They kind of have homegrown talent right now, but when I say homegrown talent, I mean they have people who are recognized at this point for mostly being in the BKFC. They don't have real, let's say, stars or whatever that started out in the BKFC, if you understand what I mean. Feldman, the president of BKFC, said that they have tryouts where people could just come up and they just try out in the ring. They have a little sparring match or whatever, and if they're good enough, they get a spot on the roster. So, like I said, homegrown talent. If they're smart, one of these people are going to become big. But right now, they need names like Mike Perry, Rachel Ostovich, Paige Van Sant to help propel the company to a better standing, so to speak. And apparently, those three are enjoying it. I believe Paige Van Sant said this is the most money she's ever made in her life, and she's never made this much money even with the UFC. And we all know the UFC has been for fighter pay and things like that. So I guess this is an incentive for a lot of MMA fighters and boxers to move to bare knuckle. Boxers less so because people in boxing are known to get paid. If you're a big name like, let's say, Canelo or whoever, you're known to get money on top of money just for one fight. And I'm pretty sure people of a smaller stature still get a significant amount of money. MMA is a bit different, though. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Bare knuckle fighting is in its infancy right now. It's where the UFC was, or just MMA in general, was in the 90s. It's kind of looked down upon. It's a black sheep in the family. But I am really willing to bet that within 10 to 15 years, bare knuckles going to be something major. I guarantee you. Some have said I'm wrong, but I am willing to bet not my last dollar, but I'm willing to bet my sixth to last dollar that, bare knuckle will probably go somewhere, and this is probably the start of something new. Well, that's my opinion on this matter. Full Armor out.